So yeah, we're gonna review this Rinks Flex game I had on my Smurf. Should be around Plat Elo here. Um, as you see, they have the Draven Thrush, and we have the Kate, not bot lane. I wanted the Thrush, but he took it first, and not does the same thing that Thrush does. Both bot lanes are pretty good. Um, if their bot lane gets ahead, they can really go really hard and be really punishing. So we have to go even, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
30 seconds until
Um,
minions
so
spawn.
we kind of go for the invade here a little bit. Like our team really groups up here, I guess, to see if they would invade, and I kind of pop in here to get a little more information. Um, yeah, kind of wait on that. This early game wasn't played too well by anybody. They kind of confused me, like why they were waiting there. I come in to see more information. I don't see anything. Um,
Minions have spawned.
if we don't see anything, we kind of just back off and we see the echo. So some of my team wants to go for the echo. Um, nothing really happens here. He just kind of disengages and goes back mid. Um, so we end up going to get our blue. One thing I really want to talk about before we get too far into the game here. The reason why Not's being picked and the Thresher being picked is because they're a lot better now with the Bond of Stone healing and percentage health increase and the new quest item. So as we get the blue, I actually took my W, willing to tank that. Didn't think I was going to be needed much more to CC it. It's gonna help Graves out since he wasn't gonna get a perfect leash, and there's a crazy invade that goes on. I've exhausted and used my sums them to peel the Graves, and we kind of just like went back in and took the hook. So I just go bot. There's nothing I can do to defend that blue buff, and I'm just gonna get the farm here, last hit it as much as possible. So they invaded. They got the kill, and he actually got a kill mid. We're going to have an XP deficit on Caitlyn here, but an advantage on me, so I'm already level 2. So this is not very good, we're losing, but they don't have any flashes, so maybe we can take advantage of that later on. So I ward the brush just because we don't really have control of the brush with this minion wave here. Thresh can easily get in the bush and then like hook us from the side right here. Like if we didn't have vision, he'd be like very threatening, a lot of pressure on us, and to like hook us from the side here. Especially how this minion wave is positioned. But he doesn't seem to go for it all. And he's which is good, it pushes into us, so then we can pick up a lot of this farm. Hopefully, I could have. Okay, I did get that. Let's see. So we're just taking it slow. I'm just kind of standing in the mini wave. There's no reason for me to ever go in. We're just kind of waiting for again, going to misses his hook. The CC's down. Just a few minions. I help with that. Try to help with all the. It's important that you help here. 80 cure with a lot of the CS, but the mini waves are going to get help. And I get an awesome hook. Go in and I just kind of disengage. I root both of them. As, they're engaging us to go all in just to get some damage. I can miss a CC, and the Graves comes by to take advantage of their flash being down. They don't flash. I root the Draven, he's dead, and then I root the Thresh, and I thought he was going to die, but he gets away until he ends up river, healing with the pots, and then we see Annie come down to pick up that kill. So that guy's dead. So even though they got the first blood, we're kind of coming back into it now, because we do see that the jungler did really well here and ganked their lane with not them having flash. So now there's no reason really for me to push because, okay, there was no really reason for me to push until the next wave comes and then Caitlyn wanted some more gold, I suppose, because she didn't have enough because I don't know how much gold she has. So we decided, okay, we'll take that last wave out, fully deny this wave, although Draven's already back in time, and we'll take the back here and pick up some items. So we go back, and I end up buying the side stone because I can afford it. It's I might use any pots, or I pick up pots. I'm not sure actually. We come back to lane. I mean, I got a really good buy. Thresh just upgraded his Dragon's Brace, which is good for him because it's nice to get that quest faster. But it doesn't look like his Draven's really letting him get too much farm. So, anyways, push back to us. It denies us a few. But we just try and push it back up. We don't know where the bot lane is. They could be in the brush again. So, we're kind of just avoiding that brush. It seems like they might have warded at this point. So it's taking it slow. It's not like being AFK or lazy in lane. It's just kind of like waiting for the right moments to go in. Thresh is kind of throwing a hook there. Our wave is always like up to the front here. The top of the way, the top of the lane. I ward this because we're not, because like I said, Thresh has got a lot of pressure hooking out in these directions. So we just want to be aware of that. Something I missed, and something we'll go back to actually right here, is we don't see the mid laner, and I decide to actually walk back in, and we see the Echo right there, which is very interesting. So I ward that, and that's them out. We have the Lee Sin. It looks like they're going to dive us here. But we're too high health. I just felt like I guess something was fishy. And also the blue buff is coming up shortly, so I'm glad I walked back into that push. After this, I move out. They had warded there, and I just go warded just because we know the blue buff is coming up very shortly. Comes up every 7 minutes, so I ward that. So if anybody comes in, we'll know. They go for dragon, that's fine. We're not trying to play the win. They look to invade that. We know that this is a thing. So I roam to secure the buff. Thresh is missing. We don't know where Thresh is. And once I come there, I threaten to hook and CCM, and then Graves got a lot of damage. So he flashes. He doesn't want to get hooked and or die and get roamed down. So I successfully defend. Then I'll return to the lane here. And the bot lane is just pushing it so hard. This Draven's pushing lane hard. I try to get the cannon, it doesn't work. I want more gold, it's okay. If there's a lot of trading lane, obviously you want to save the stacks, target stacks for healing, AD carry, and yourself, but right now it's just kind of like a push back and forth. So our team here goes to invade, and their bot lane just disappears. We don't know where they are. I guess they come too late. Rush, tries to help this guy out here. That's the hook. I roam up. I'm bot lane because bottom's not doing anything. Everything is dead because they chase too far. And then I was gonna say CM, maybe knock him up, get a K-trap, and Annie damage because Annie's pretty fed, but there's nothing to do there. So we just trade flashes, which is not too big of a deal. Since they were ahead, it was better to trade that. Now we're actually winning now, so we keep picking up kills. The other thing is, if you want to chase to get a kill, you really got to kill them fast enough. Else, obviously, your team, the enemy team, in this case, my team, will collapse on you. You lose that. So the wards are pretty good throughout the map here. Got a ward here. These are my teammates warding here. I don't really have too many wards out. I'll be warding it later. We have Caitlyn pushing the wave and backing. I put that there. Just because sometimes you don't want to ward so fast, because if there's no one going to be in lane, that ward just kind of dies out without seeing anybody. We don't have anybody hiding there. Lee Sin's on the ward. I'm kind of waiting. He doesn't know I'm there, and I kind of try to defend the ward as much as possible. He goes to the wall, which is really good on Lee Sin, denies my Q hook, because I was going to CC lock him. I see the ward, and I deny their vision there, and I will grant more vision to their jungle. We see them roaming up, so my ward does detect the Thresh. Roaming up, I have no reason to fight him or get caught there, so I go the long way around. And there's a dive. He flashes, gets it. Looks like a pretty hard dive. He's low, and that was kind of a big misplay on Lee Sin's part to even try that. And then we have Annie. So my team is actually working really good here. I wouldn't say they're carrying me, but this Annie really knows how to pressure the map, and that's what a good mid laner does. And Graves is there as well to finish off the kill, so they definitely know how to respond to the pressure. So I ward here, just in case we don't see anybody, because we have this already warded. He could come through here, but since Lee Sin died, it's unlikely he would come probably from his base. And if you wanted to camp, the only way, like, Lee Sin would have to totally go around a weird method and like come by, and then there's no reason for him to do that. He has no reason to expect that this is here. So we're gonna slow this down here. So we're trying to take the tower, and then Lee Sin does show, and he does show on my ward. So, like I said, he's got no reason to expect that is warded. So he's got no reason to go some like alternate route around. And so they're chasing us, and Lee Sin does have a hop, so he could probably get to him, and that's when he does. So he does hop, and therefore, and right now he can target him. So I position myself twice to body block it for Caitlyn, because I want to protect her. I don't want her to get damaged. And once he does it, you see I immediately walk away. I immediately walk away to make as far distance as possible, and I root him. His Q is down, but he still has got his ult and everything like that. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's turning on him. I do get hooked, but I'm so tanky it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, he just dies straight up. And I get CC'd pretty hard, and then once he's CC'd, we just do a turn because Caitlyn's really ahead. We see the exhaust coming on Caitlyn, and then I later exhaust onto Draven so he doesn't trade back. I am pretty low here. And we root the Draven, and I slow the Draven, I slow them both. But I'm too low to chase the Draven, it would be too greedy, and we see that Thresh, there's no escape. So we just turn to kill that guy, and I'm picking up that kill. But that was just really smart to not only position the body block the Q, but to walk away from the Caitlyn when it does happen, allowing her to trade. So that's how you feel properly. And she just wants a tower gold here. I'm gonna back. She's probably gonna clear it and back as well. So while that happens, we're gonna see what items I have here. And I do have the Moby Boots to get around faster. Before I upgrade any quest item. And since there's nothing to do bot, there's no tower, I immediately start going to the mid lane. So she's just really fed at this point, and I try to pick up some quest gold. There we go. And so there's no pressure mid or bot right now. And Lee Sin just died, so this is perfect timing since I see everybody just to ward their jungles. We're winning the game. We have controlled more of the map, especially in the bot tower town. So I'll put down great vision so we can see anybody coming to that red buff that's coming up soon. And then I'll return bot because I know that their bot lane's going to want to push that wave out, and we don't want to put Caitlyn in a 2v2 situation. So I'm already returning bot at this point, and I go the long way around. There's no way this guy's dead. He comes to disengage me, but he's already too late. He probably should throw in that Caitlyn. He's going to get locked up by me, even disengaging my Mobies. He hits his Yomu late. He auto-attacks me, and there's nothing that he can do. He ults the Caitlyn. It is a pretty close fight, so I'll watch it in slow motion. I pull him back. I just chain CC as much as possible. And then there's a crit to kill him. So that guy's dead. He got caught a lot. He got caught out. So knowing that he was going to CC me here, I assumed that he had this warded here. Because he knew I was there, and sure enough, it's warded. It's just with Moby Boots, I'm just way too fast, and I can catch him too easily. At this point, we see the fresh top lane picking up some kills, assisting his team. And we see all 4 of them top, and then one guy's dead, so Caitlyn's free to do whatever she wants, and she's got perfect vision, so she can see anybody roam from mid lane or from their base. The only thing they can do is come through from their base under the tower. So mid lane's pushing. I try to clear it. There's no reason for me to ever go top here. I can't defend as support, but I will protect against anybody that comes in to invade the red buff. And it seems like they kind of just back off of that. So I travel with my jungle. He says the blue's up, so I kind of just travel to make sure it's safe for him. I have nothing better to do. Caitlyn's actually just killed the guy bottling him. And so he gets that. I don't think I need to be there anymore. He gets that and just gets out of there. I deny the vision, the thing from the clearing wards, and I click it back this way because they just had pressure top, so I thought maybe they would have it warded up in this kind of area of the map here. And sure enough, I do find that one ward. I wanted to do Rift Shadow. I think it was a good objective, but my team this game doesn't really want to do any objectives. They just kind of that. So there's a fight mid here. I'm going to slow this down. I think there's actually a team fight here. And Thresh uses CC. He uses his Q. And at that point right there, he could have walked into the minion. He kind of walks out, and I kind of predict him, like, because there's only one way to predict. I can't predict into the minion anyways. So I predict that, and I lock him up twice. And we see what happens here. So this guy just gets bursted pretty easily, but he doesn't die. He just takes him out. Meanwhile, this guy gets caught pretty hard. And then he get ulted just because it doesn't matter. I could have held on to Mel, I guess, but we want to make sure he doesn't get away. Even after I knock him up, he got the kill, and then walks away for a step, so there's a buff transfer. Meanwhile, they walk bot lane, or bot in this area, and Echo's really low, so once he sees me, he's kind of have to back off. The hook comes out again, and Draven kind of saves me from that hook. Caitlyn tries to pick up the kill. Not much I can really do here. Thresh will take that. And so kind of an unexpected play. They shouldn't be really taking fights by me here. I knew that there was probably going to be warded here, because if any fight break out, they need to get as much vision as possible, and they don't have to ward the lane. And I ping my AD carry to take out the vision with me since I attack really slow. So don't be, well, there's no reason to hold off on your ult. Just use as much as possible if you don't get punished for it, and just like get as much kills, because there was no reason for me not to use it there, you know. Picked up the kill, and it'll be off cooldown by next time I need it, so I ping the Rift Herald. Doesn't look like Riven wants to get it, so I just kind of back here, get some items. Everybody's kind of coming back from base here, and I build the face of the mountain. I'm liking face of the mountain too, because if you read it, it does percentage. It heals for it gives a shield for percentage health. So, and explosion as well. And he just kills the mid. And so yeah, the face of the mountain shield is a lot stronger than the Aegis shield. So I've been really liking that. I ward here, since a lot of the combat has been towards the mid lane recently. And he clears that, so I know it's safe to ward it, but I guess he still sees it. We catch the Thresh. At this point, Thresh has Mobies, I think? Does he have Mobies at this point? Yes, but his Mobies were denied. So he kind of just sees just lock as much as possible to save himself, but he gets rooted again here. And now he's about to run into the run into the bush where Swain is. This bush needs to be warded now that we know Swain's in there, unless we just disengage from it. Do I not have wards for him? Yeah, we kind of disengage off from it. There's a ward here. Riven wants to, or I know that there's a ward there, but we don't want to be too greedy for it, so Riven doesn't want to die to Swain, so we just kind of back off from that. And as you see right now, we're just going to pause right here for a second here. Look how good the vision is. So this is my ward here to deny all these wards that come into this brush, because we know it's a common spot for them to ward, and there's a lot of wards here. This is from the fight breaking out. We got some more vision here from teammates, and then we can see their entire bottom part of the jungle where all the action is. So we can see there, even though it's warded, we know that there's ward in the jungle, and that's not the best ward, but it does kind of see where they would be coming from. Even in that bottom brush, red bush, we can see them. So they're really, I mean, it should really be clearing that before they fight us. So it's kind of harassing here. And then as you see down here, Graves is almost dead, but he survives. And I come in to help the teammate, just to zone him off a little bit here. Just my presence is enough to get him to take a step back. We see the Caitlyn knows the Echo's coming, but at this point the Echo's so underleveled, and so is everybody else. She's 2 levels, 3 levels up on Lee Sin, 2 levels on Echo. This guy's just kind of dying for free now. I come to help. We see them. I try to catch the Thresh here. This guy's Moby's deactivated, so he is slower. He moves at 360, and these people move at 388, so she can move faster than him. Lands the Q. She hits Annie, but there's nothing she can do. He walks the wrong way. She's walking back to base. At this point, he just kind of like ward jumps to flash, but he's so weak right now. Not the best hook, but it's either hook that or hook nothing at all. Take another tower down while we're at it. No reason to ever back. There's so much pressure on the map here. Let's start going to this next tower. Echo does clear with a 1Q though. So after that, they have a pretty strong defense here. There's not much we can do. There's no reason to stay. You gotta know if you can siege or not, and there's no reason we can't siege that anymore. So we rotate back mid. I check and see if there's any vision here. We do have things there. They wouldn't be so far. The only places they can ward are like this bush here, this bush here, this bush here, because there's no way here. And then here's an interesting moment. So as Kate's back and we're actually both backing in these brush here, we see the Echo and the Lee Sin. So typically we can't really win this 2v2 because even though they're under leveled, Echo is the mid laner, and Lee Sin does have his Q and his kick, and he's pretty damaging. We can look at his items here and see that he's like trolling at this point. But he still has damage regardless, base damage on his abilities. So she sees it and she backs up and she immediately attacks. This guy gap closes. She puts that down. I don't know what this all here was for, just to kind of like disrupt her from auto attacking and push her in a way. Like if she's back here, she's got to like path all the way around these bushes, so she's kind of stuck in that area. But he kind of does it in a weird thing that like she gets kicked just out of Echo's circle here. I root this guy to try to stop him as much as possible, but he ends up, after landing the kick, he lands the Q. And I try to slow them both here. And so I do have an exhaust up, and the exhaust target is the mid lane. The higher level, I didn't know about Lee Sin's items, but the higher level, and he's just got more burst. So, Echo, he lands his combo, which looks like he's going to land his Q right here. It looks like Caitlyn could die still here. And I root him to try to stop him. And it allows for her, even though she's slowed, to walk back a little more before he gets stunned here. And there, she successfully walks out of the zone, but he does get the shield. And he's going to just dash to her. Does that. So they both pick to her, and she gets bursted really hard. At this point, this is a perfect time. We have some teammates coming. She does heal, some are heal. We do have teammates coming up here. It's better to CC the Echo, like I said. So after that, it's just perfect positioning to get to the Echo. I pull him back. She stuns. And then once I pull him back, I ult. It was kind of hard to see here. Just to knock them both up. So we like just so much CC locking. We have the root, the slow, the hook, and then we have the double knock up on both of them. So I do ult the Lee Sin just to knock both of them up, just to prevent any other damage. And so that Echo gets knocked up, she flashes, and it seems like now I'm full health. This guy, there's no way he's going to go in and try to fight an Echo Caitlyn. And I did not when he's being so behind. I'm just so tinky as a front line. He gets away though. I don't really see that there's a reason to chase that. I can't really chase him tower unless Annie wants to do something. And he can walk by the tower since she's got a wave, but there's no way I'm going to be good at cooking past that tower, so. Next one play top. I try to attack the tower a little bit with her. Protect for that. That guy just gets destroyed by me. Fighting top. We take the tower now. More objectives going down. I start pathing towards the graves to help him out in the jungle, but he instantly dies for going back in. And then I'll help Annie with this, although she does not need help whatsoever. She just already said she can just burst that easily, so I just walk away. I should hit this, there's not any more vision coming out on their side. If we don't hit it, they will. I'm taking another back now. And it's time about to close up the game here, so down here and see what items I get. So I back and I get a redemption. Redemption is one of the strongest items in the game. Gives the health, gives the cooldown, gives the mana regen. All this stuff is good for supports, and obviously the active is insanely strong. There's no really contesting for our wards here, so it's my job just kind of ward up again. Get as much vision as possible. So there it goes. We get more vision in their jungle. Same spots. There's really strong spots still. Dragon should have been done, but no one does it. And it looks like their support is just really lacking, not getting any vision. Obviously the sweeper there. This is from before when Lee Sin killed, tried to attack with Echo. I walk into Swain, but he's weak and I'm just pretty tanky. I mean that's one of the spots they could be warding. We got that ward. Save one over the base so we can see a little bit better and see where they are, so it's not too blind. Try to let the Swain is immobile, but don't get that. Okay, I don't know why he's just standing there, but he's kind of died. Now they're all just kind of trolling at this point, but there's just one more thing to highlight at the end here. I'll see that in just a second. So yeah, he's just messing around. 832, even though they have these managing points. I get that, I get stunned. One more auto attack that guy's completed. The last thing is right here. That's just a quick play from me here. This is tower falls here, so we'll speed it up until this tower falls. So we're just kind of standing there, kind of messing with their team as this tower falls. Standing there. And once this tower falls, I kind of go up there. And we see the Thresh, and we know Thresh is probably going to try to hook somebody. So he goes for the hook. Riven is standing still. She dashes. I walk into the hook accidentally. And I'm just getting stun locked really hard. Now at this point, after Lee Sin lands that, I start walking back, pathing backwards away from that base. Because I know Lee Sin's going to want to kick me into the base and just instantly kill me from the fountain. Here. Because that's what Lee Sins do. He kicks to me. I get hit by the Thresh ult, so I'm moving really slow. He does a good play where he can just dash right to the ward after kicking to me to get behind me. And right here, knowing that he's about to kick me, I know that I can prevent myself from dying in that fountain if I latch onto something. So I quickly hook this. I hook the Nexus, so I'm attached to it, so he won't send me flying into the base. He Thunderlords proc me. He kicks me, but instead of going into Thresh, look at that. I get kicked right into the Nexus there. So that was the last thing I needed to showcase. Is just a really good play on that, and we'll just watch that. Probably a +2 here. Let's do that again. Hook, back flag, kick, flag, kick, flash onto that, and I get immediately back. Get outplayed, and that's game.